Okay, we have a few more seconds and then I'm going to start. Hello, everybody. My name's Angel. If you cannot hear me, please just chat to me. We're going to start right now. Our title for today is Win-Win Solution for Employers and Employees, Insurance 2020. Happy Workers, Happy Company. How to maintain a high level of employee satisfaction and productivity in the workplace. My name is Angel Pale. I'm representing EPIA Inc. We have been around for 28 years. We have been doing health insurance, life insurance, anything that has to do with protection for this long. So we have a very long history doing the insurance business, and recently we had a lot of questions from our customers trying to stay compliant because a lot of new laws are happening, and by providing insurance to your employees is actually really beneficial to the company. So we just want to present that today, and also some compliance issues that you might have or questions you might have. You can go ahead and ask us here or afterwards. Okay, so our company does employee benefits, workers' comp, liability, financial planning for individuals and companies, long-term care, medical insurance, senior benefits. So we're founded in 1992. We received numerous insurance awards. We are actually named one of the top 10 elite partners to some of the carriers. We are a woman-owned small business, so I'm very proud of that. And Overseas Community Affairs Council Coordinator of ROC. We are Board of Directors of the SACPAA, a Professional CPA Association. I'm also a VP of Los Angeles Diamond Lions Club and a VP of a women's club of Southern California. So other than spreading information about insurance, we're also doing a lot of charity and getting involved in the community. So this is the start of our slides, and everyone wants to be like this guy. Even if he's checking out his emails, he's at the beach relaxing. So I'm sure even if you're a business owner, you will like this kind of life, because right now there's a daily hustle bustle. You still have to come to the office, the employees need you, the customers need you. So, but for sure, you as an employer, for you to get to this state is actually faster than your employees. It will be much harder for your employees to only get a salary and to be able to retire like this. So as an employer, sometimes it's your duty to actually provide more for your employees so they can actually live like this one day, just like you. So Wall Street Journal and also CNN, they did a survey on employee satisfaction. So people would think that, employees are more satisfied with a higher salary, but the answer wasn't so. The answer was actually trust and respect. So having the trust from the employers and also respect from the employers was actually more important than having just a high salary. So that's something for the employers to know, and for the employers to take notice that, the high salary is just not going to cut it nowadays. Employees are looking for perks and benefits also. So how do you do that, but at the same time, stay compliant and still be a happy employer? Okay. So basically, as an employer, if you want your employees to, longevity, stay longer and trust you, and basically have a common cohesiveness to the whole company, having a common goal, you need to provide benefits to your employees, whether if it's health insurance, dental, vision, life insurance, even 401k is the most basic necessity nowadays. So as an employer, your job is to attract good talent and make them stay. So the mission for you is to attract, retain, and retain the overall cohesiveness. So we're just going to talk about the responsibilities of an employer versus expectation of the employee. Everyone knows that nowadays, everything's really expensive. If someone goes to the hospital, the daily average is around $10,000. So what if an employee gets sick? So basically this employee, if you never provide insurance, this employee has to buy their own insurance. And at the same time, the employee has to worry about if they're missing days, is their job secure? So basically, they have to worry about their health and their job. So it's really important for the employers to step in and make sure that the employee is actually happy and also feeling secure, even when they're sick. So that's when the employer can provide a group health insurance coverage. So if you don't or you haven't been providing health insurance coverage, the 2020 individual tax penalty for not having any health insurance is $695 or 2.5% of the annual AGI, adjusted gross income. So that can add up. And also, it's quite a cost for someone who maybe as a minimum wage worker, even though they might get some kind of subsidy when they buy health insurance, but some people, they don't want to pay for the health insurance and they often opt out. So when they opt out, their health is at risk, and also for them to return to the job is at risk. So this is basically someone looking really sad, knowing that the fact that the daily average for hospital stay is $10,000. It's a fact, at least in California. So everyone knows that there's a health exchange after Obamacare started. So people can buy their own health insurance in the exchange, or even just buy it directly from the insurance companies. So if this person is making a little bit less, they might be able to get some kind of subsidy for their insurance premiums. But if this employee is making a little bit higher income, but not as high as a well-off lifestyle, they will have to pay full price for the insurance plan. So for example, a 40-year-old adult, male or female, if they want to get something that's a gold or platinum plan, they have to pay around $300 to $400 a month. So if their income is around 70,000, or even they're single, if their income's around 40,000 to 50,000, they almost get no subsidy. So having no subsidy is a very a heavy load of premium they have to pay month to month for health insurance. So for them, they might be headhunted to another company that provides benefits to them. Another benefit of providing insurance to employees is what happens during employment termination. So let's say if there's a layoff, if there is a termination of any kind, the employee, if they are sick, they can retain their health insurance through the COBRA system. And even their retirement plans, if they were to leave the company, they can take their retirement plans with them, and they can keep on, contributing, and also it's still tax deferred. So in terms of health insurance, let's go back to the part where it says COBRA. So if you're a company under 20 people, your COBRA is being taken care of by California. If you're over 20 people, then it's a federal COBRA. And with COBRA, the employee, when they leave the employment, they're able to keep their current plan and their current providers, and also their current hospitals and everything, the records, and carry through. They just have to pay out of their own pocket. So that can last for 18 months or more. So having that system installed in your company is really helping an employee, and also helping the employer when you have to do the termination, but you don't feel guilty that this person's going to lose coverage. So that's something to consider, because after they leave, the employee is actually in charge of their own the premiums. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper about Section 125 cafeteria plan. Why is it employer and employee win-win? So basically, any plan you provide, I would recommend that you sign up for Section 125, and having a cafeteria plan, meaning that you can choose different types of plans and benefits to provide. So there's health insurance, there's dental, there's even childcare or scholarships, so a lot of different options, but what we're going to focus on is mostly health insurance. And why go with the Section 125? So with Section 125, your premium is deducted before your payroll taxes. And why is it a win-win for employers? So for employers, your workers' comp premium is based on your payroll. So having the employees' insurance being taken off before the payroll taxes, their wages are actually lowered. So let's say somebody's making $2,000 monthly, and their responsibility for the premium is $100, then they're actually making $1,900. So for you to calculate your workers' comp, it's only based on the $1,900. So in turn, your workers' comp premium will be cheaper. So that's something that the employer can benefit from. And as an employee, because their wages are lower, they have to pay less payroll taxes, including FICA taxes. So it's definitely a win-win situation, not to mention that people are getting benefits. So in order to take advantage of the Section 125, you have to set up a POP plan, premium only plan. So this is usually provided by your payroll company. Your insurance agent, such as myself, we can provide this for free. And also for the CPA, they can also provide the POP plans. So we have a question coming in: who's eligible to participate in a Section 125 plan? So let's see. How do I answer this? Yes. So okay. So basically, everybody, if your employer, once you set up your insurance, you're able to participate in Section 125 after setting up the POP plan. So if you're able to talk to your insurance agent, which is, we will tell you and refer you to the specialist to talk to you about how to set it up and how to take advantage of this this great tax saving vehicle. So basically, all the employers, you have to initiate, and that's how you could set up the Section 125. But basically, you need to have a health plan in place first. I hope that answers your question. So number 2, also FSA, flexible spending account. Once you have a qualifying health insurance plan, you could start a FSA account and deduct your salary and put it directly into this account before tax. So you're saving money before tax, and this money could be used for your deductibles, your hospital bills, and anything medical related. So this is also something where you could do this before tax and just save money on your payroll taxes, and employers would love to save taxes on themselves too. And also, thirdly, there's some dependent care, scholarships, etc., a lot of different things. So definitely talk to your insurance agent or talk to anybody, your specialist or payroll company. Okay, so I want you to talk to your CPA if you don't know what FICA is, if you want more details. FICA is basically Federal Insurance Contributions Act. It's basically the taxes you see from your wage that is being taken off every payroll. So it says right here how many percent is being taken out of your check. So you guys can take a look, read some details about it. But it's basically anything that's on your payroll that is a tax on it. So again, the reason why we're deducting the premium before tax, meaning that you don't have to pay FICA taxes on that portion of your salary, which is another good news. Okay, so we're going to jump to group retirement plans. Really briefly, I'm just going to give everybody options because these are based on suitability. You have to be at a certain component, you have to have certain components to be able to choose what's the most suitable for you. So I'm going to give some options, and if you guys have any questions, I welcome consultation afterwards, and we can definitely assess your situation and see which one is best for you and your company and your employees. Okay, so basically you want to work with your insurance, financial advisor, or CPA on creating a company retirement plan. And your incentives are, it is tax deferred, and also you're saving money, and everything is growing in a compound interest way. So there are several plan options. I'm just going to name them. Again, it has to do with suitability, so I welcome the consultation afterwards. So the first kind is defined contribution plans. There are the simple IRAs for smaller groups, SEP, also convenient for smaller groups, profit sharing, and the 401k plans. And the second type is defined benefit plans. You have the traditional, the cash balance, and the 401(k)(3). So why set up a retirement plan for the company? First of all, tax saving. There's a higher threshold if you do it through the company than doing it through personal IRAs and everything. So through the company, you can save a lot more taxes. And also the money saved, you're putting it into investment accounts. So there's a long-term benefit of compound interest accumulation. At the same time, you're doing your own retirement planning, and at the same time, like, when we see in the beginning the happy retired person on the beach, it'll be faster for you to reach that goal. Also, talent retainment. A lot of talent they require and also expect that type of benefits being provided to through the company. Tax deductible premiums, and also if the company is thinking about exit strategy, it's good to have benefits and contribution dedicated to the employees. So going back to the no FICA portion, we would recommend a non-elective contribution. It's a type of retirement plan that you could talk to your CPA or us about. So what's so good about this non-elective contribution? So it is good for employers. It's a win-win situation. It is flexible. You guys can change the amount of contribution anytime. And you could provide it to each qualified employee, let's say full-time employees, and you can earn safe harbor status. So safe harbor is another compliance topic that we can talk about maybe next time. Today we're just basically going through the basics. So definitely it's a compliance issue that we will bring up in the future webinars. Number 3, you can use it as a tax write-off. So everybody wants that. And it is good for employees because if they were to contribute, there's no FICA tax on it. And it is optional, so they don't have to contribute if they don't want to, because the employer is already contributing. So you guys, if you have any questions, you could ask about if the non-elective contribution plans are good for you. Okay, so everything I talked about just now are ways to incentivize your employees and also create cohesion and create common goals and earn your trust and respect from your employees. But there are also some items that are mandatory by the government. So what are they? So we have workers' comp insurance. So workers' comp insurance, everyone knows, as long as you have one employee, you should provide workers' comp insurance. The reason being that there might be lawsuits from this one employee. So it's very important for you to provide that for yourself and also for the benefit of the employee, that no one gets sued. So also workers' comp for the employee, if they are injured, there's a payout to make sure that the worker is being taken care of, and at the same time they'll be able to rest and get well and come back to the workforce. So it is based on the worker's salary and also the worker's worker's salary, and also how severe the injury is. So Family Leave Act is very important topic nowadays, that people are afraid of having children because their job is not secured. So having the Family Leave Act in California, it's a 6-week hiatus the person can take when they have babies or they have to take care of a family member or themselves. So the 6 weeks, their job needs to be there. They cannot be taken away. And also after July 1st, 2020, it'll be 8 weeks. So this is good news to parents everywhere. So ERISA. So basically ERISA is Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974. It's a very long name, but it's basically asking the company to stay compliant and provide plan info to all the employees so everything is transparent. So before is for larger groups, but now it's for any company, private sector, regardless of size. So if you're one person, 2 people company, you need to be compliant with ERISA. So anything that's on medical insurance, disability, long-term care, legal assistance or scholarship, all fall into this compliance issue. So it generally doesn't apply to any POP plans and HSA FSAs, but I'm still going to go over a little bit. So what the employer is responsible for is to provide a summary of benefits. And if the insurance company don't provide that, you would have to talk to your TPA or even us for the SPD, Summary Plan Description, just so your employees and everyone who's taking the benefit is completely clear and everything is transparent. So it gives the participant the right to see the benefits and also to sue if they don't see it deemed legal or compliant. And also the employers, they have an IRS form 5500. It's an overall reporting framework. So any other details we will have to explain in the compliance webinar next time, but that's basically what ERISA is. Sexual harassment prevention. So several months ago, we were told that by January 1st, 2020, any company 5 or over need to provide sexual harassment prevention training for their managers for 2 hours, for common employees, 1 hour of training. However, they changed that date to January 1st, 2021. So now everybody has a little bit more time on getting trained. So you will get a certificate, and we provide this for free. If anyone is interested, we can set you guys up, and you can stay compliant for 2 years. And after 2 years, you have to recertify. So it's with a lot of lawsuits nowadays. All the employers need to be certified, at least to protect yourselves and also the employees. So we have a question coming in. Are workers' comp payments taxable? We can talk about more taxes in the future, but basically it's something that employers have to get to protect themselves if they have 1 or more employees. So over the weekend, which is the 18th, I had a 2-day seminar in Mandarin Chinese with CPAs and also lawyers. So basically, the lawyer, all he talked about was on AB5, how to determine if the employee is a contract worker or a common law employee. So it basically, people thought that W-2 is a full-time employee, 1099 is a contract employee. But now you will have to do certain tests to make sure that even if they're on 1099, they are not a common law employee. So for more information, you need to talk to your lawyer, and we might have a more in-depth compliance webinar on this, but basically there's a test called the ABC test. And the lawyer over the weekend, he made it really simple. He had an analogy that was kind of cute. So it's basically, if you see a bird, but it quacks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it acts like a duck, then it's probably a duck. So if you're ever in doubt that this contract worker is or might be a common law worker, him or her might be a common law worker. So you just have to be really careful and talk to your company lawyer. So why does it matter to insurance? I'm going to bring up the Obamacare. So basically, recently the new law says that over 50 employees, you have to provide medical insurance to your full-time employees. So it's a mandate that says that if you have 50 full-time equivalent employees, then you have to provide health insurance to all the full-time employees. So how do you calculate full-time employees? Full-time equivalent. So, it matters to companies that have 40 employees, around 40 employees, and a bunch of contractors. So what you have to do is that if you find out the contractors are common law employees, you have to calculate their hours. So all of their hours added together divided by 130 equals how many full-time equivalent employees. So if all the full-time equivalent employees add to the 40 full-time employees, if it's over 50, then you are required to provide health insurance to all your full-time employees. It's like a riddle. I just said it. If you guys don't understand, we could definitely do a test to see if you guys are over the threshold and have to provide health insurance to all your employees. So please contact us afterwards and we can talk about this. So we all want happy workers. We all want to achieve the cohesion that I was talking about, and everyone wants to have a sense of security. So these are several pictures of us doing seminars, me being on the Chinese media. Basically, we do a lot of HR trainings. We have certifications that we can give out to HR departments if they need to stay compliant in order to execute what they have to do. We have a blog with a lot of information on it. We have some online videos for employers to look at in terms of fact checking and also just getting some kind of knowledge on insurance. So what we're providing is actually free, but you can also say is priceless. What we also do is after your insurance goes into effect, we help you with looking for doctors, or even during the application process, we help you select the doctors, select your medical groups if you're in a HMO, look for hospitals that's the best in your area. Even when there's a usage of your insurance, we will help with the billing. We also look at, what are your options in terms of paying for the bill. So we basically help the employer and the employees if they reach out to us directly. So the employers don't have to deal with the headache of answering insurance questions. So today our seminar is not super long. It's about 30 minutes. We'll definitely keep the same length around the same time. So thank you again for joining our webinar, The Win-Win Solution for Employers and Employees Insurance 2020. So if you have any questions, please give us a call at 626-912-1988, or you can visit us at epiagroup.com. You could also take your phone out and put your camera on if you have an iPhone, and just face your camera at the QR code right below the address, and a little window will pop up on the top. So you can go ahead and tap on that window on top, and you will go straight to our website. So once you go to our website, there's some blogs on more information, and we'll also post this video on our blog. You can definitely share it, you can keep it, or you can just visit our website for more information. So the last page is coming up. Oh, that's it. So if you guys would like to give me your thoughts on how I did on this video, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, let me know. Our next seminar is coming up in February. Once we have it set up, we'll give you a date. And thank you again for joining our webinar today.